Welcome everybody back to the Off the Rails podcast with Tone and Jems. How's it going, Jems?
Great. I happy to be back. I didn't realize we hadn't dropped an episode since March.
Yeah. So we have. This is going to be like the fun catch up episode for you guys, where we are talking about all the things that we've done basically since we recorded the last episode. And for us, this is going to be season 3. So I think we started season 2 when you were at my house.
Yep, almost
That
a
was
year
our first
ago.
episode of season 2.
It's been like 50,
Almost a year ago.
50 weeks.
Yeah, and then we knocked through a couple episodes, and we did record a couple episodes that we didn't release, just because we couldn't really keep up with schedules got a little crazy. But since we're two flexible human beings who are left-handed, we are going to make this work. So this is season 3, episode 1, episode 40 overall, which is actually kind of dope that we are to 40 episodes. We started this podcast. It's probably more than 40 episodes. We started it as a different podcast, and then we got rid of those and moved forward with Off the Rails, which is really cool.
I want to think we did
but I'm excited.
6 or maybe 5 or 6 episodes of L is for Lions. Now W is for Lions.
That's right. So that's where I was going with that. It's been a whole flip, man. We have unfortunately we need the terrible Rams, I think, to beat the Seahawks this week to make the playoffs if we beat the Packers, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, the Seahawks aren't that good though. I know they beat us, so hopefully
they only beat us by 3 though, which sucks.
Right. So hopefully Baker can play well. I know Stafford can come off IR. I doubt they do it. That'd be awesome if they did.
That'd be dope.
Get the Lions to the playoffs.
I don't think he will though.
Lions still have to beat the Packers.
Right.
They made Sunday Night Football finally.
I know, right? I wonder if they'll regret that if they if you know what they should have done? They should have done dual Sunday Night Footballs and then had the Seahawks play at the same time as us, and then it would have been drama filled.
I saw some, people always think the NFL's rigged, so the outcomes are
yeah.
So this is set up perfectly for that. So if the NFL is truly rigged, the Rams will kick the shit out of the Seahawks, and then the Lions Packers will be a highly viewed Sunday Night Football game.
Cool. Highly viewed.
For the record, I do not
I'm excited.
The NFL is rigged.
I don't either. And that's me talking to people that have played in the NFL, clearly laughing at that question.
Right.
Just as a how do you think you get 53 players per roster, 30 plus teams to all buy into,
and to pretty much keep their mouth shut unless you're Larry Johnson.
Yeah. Larry Johnson. He went to Penn State. I mean, what do you expect? No, I'm just kidding. Did Larry Johnson go to Penn State, or did I totally just make that up?
No,
he did, right?
That sounds right. I'm pretty sure
that sounds right. Okay.
Yeah.
I think so. We'll say that. We'll say that's accurate.
No,
but I'm excited.
Associate producer, look it up.
I'm excited for this season of Off the Rails. It's gonna be dope. Episode 40, and we'll get to talk about a bunch of cool stuff, which is the awesomest part. Is honestly I produce a ton of podcasts and do a bunch of social media stuff and all that fun stuff. But just getting to talk and have my opinions and stuff, which is cool. It's always it's fun to be on this side of the camera as well. So I'm excited, Jems.
Yeah, me too. And this is almost like a therapy session. We get to talk. We get we do a lot of talking off camera too. Usually when we do this and air out our grievances, not necessarily with each other, but with life. And then some of them make it on the podcast, some of them don't. But it's nice. It's like a good palate cleanse.
It's a perfect way to kind of it's a perfect way to explain it. Yeah, it's like a palate cleanse. It's we go, we talk, and we can talk about certain things. And for us, we're both very similar human beings. We're obviously both left-handed. If you haven't watched the show before, we're both dads. We both have 3 kids, so both have wives who are awesome. And then we're also very heavily involved in high school sports.
Yep, and my baseball starts next week. with morning
I'm excited
workouts,
for that. I'm excited.
afternoon workouts. Thursday through Saturday, I'll be in Indy for a coaches clinic.
Oh, nice. That's dope. You gonna meet up with any of the guys? You gonna meet up with Flags or
I
anything?
had texted him, and I think his wife is having surgery, and he started a new job,
Ooh,
so I don't think it's going to
yeah.
work
I
out.
remember he started a new job, so
And I
yeah,
also
makes
think
sense.
like we have like classes or whatever how you ever want to call it, demonstrations like all day long. I think
All day?
one night,
It's like an all day thing?
yeah, like, one night there's a banquet that I don't think I go to, and I have like a free
Oh,
night. I have
gotcha.
like a free night in Indy. That's when I was gonna try to hit
Oh,
up
sweet.
Flags, but
Got you. Also, totally unplanned, which is the funniest part about this whole thing, is our wives both got us basically the same hat, and we wore we wore them
yes,
to the show. Mine says Tigers, yours is at Notre Dame, but pretty
I
funny.
do have a White Sox one, and now I should have. I almost wore that, but it's still sitting in the box. I should have worn
Yeah.
that. That would have been more fitting.
Shout out to the 108 guys. White Sox.
Yes,
White Sox. But no, I thought that was pretty funny when we both logged on and we had the same hats. It's
yes,
pretty hilarious. Um, for you, you're going to Indy for a coach's clinic. I am in February going down to the Super Bowl, I believe.
slightly cooler.
So 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 that would be kind of cool. It's not all finalized yet, so I'm not exactly sure, but the plan I think is to do some media on Media Row for Man to Man Pod, which will be pretty cool. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm excited.
that was like always one of my favorite things to do is like be on ESPN during media day and
Yeah.
watch everything that was going on because there's always wild crap that happens at media day. So will you guys have
Well, yeah. There's so many crazy like people. That's the part I don't know. I think we have some. I know we have at least one day time wise for um to do something. I believe for FanDuel in a FanDuel booth. Now I don't know what the FanDuel booth looks like, or if it's like I remember last year Pat went and he had his booth.
Yep.
I don't know if that was considered the FanDuel booth or if that was like the Pat booth and then FanDuel used it. I know like some other people used Pat's thing when he wasn't on air.
Right.
Um, so I don't know how all of that goes, but if it's a similar setup, sounds like it's gonna be absurd. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
So,
because you're gonna just be
but
like,
it'll be fun anyway, just to be around all those people.
right, you'll be sitting there and you'll like turn around and be like, oh crap, there's Joe Montana or like just stuff like that.
Yeah,
Oh, there's JJ Watt
yeah, just
in
like
Arizona.
random, random super, high profile athletes would be cool. And the good thing is, I'll be there with AB and Deba, and they both have like pretty good connections. So I'm sure we'll be able to draw in some cool guests and do some cool interviews and stuff. So excited for that part of it. Excited to like kind of like, and it'll also be my first time meeting in person with AB or Deba, which will be kind of cool. So yeah,
Do you think do they know how
had a,
tall you are?
had our.
Like I hope they think
I
you're
don't
like
know.
6'4".
I'm definitely not. I don't think they think I'm 6'4". That'd be crazy. But I don't know. It's always weird when you meet people in person because you're just like judged. I think everyone you judge them like as far as like when you don't know them like that they're just like kind of like an average normal size or whatever. So
Right.
I would assume like I mean I'm 6 foot tall, so I mean I'm like I guess I am a sort of average
Right.
height. So I think Deba is 5'11", 6 foot. I think so is AB. So
Yeah, it'll be like your
maybe
triplets.
it's slightly shorter. Yeah. So yeah. Well, yeah.
Who
Like do like the
who played
same.
in the NFL?
I mean, who played in the NFL? Not me, that's for sure. Especially now with the body type I got right now. But I'm currently on the keto diet, so that's kind of going to help me slim down. That's the plan, at least. So I've already lost 6 pounds since January 1st. So
nice. January 9th,
how today?
Taylor and I are starting a weight loss challenge. Somebody local on Facebook has one.
Nice.
So, yeah, and I guess
dope.
It runs until the end of July, which is a long time.
Okay.
You have
That's a long time, yeah.
weigh in every 3 weeks at the local arcade because the guy owns the arcade they just opened, which is kind of cool.
Is it like one of those like guess your weight ones? You like is it like a video game you're like
I hope I get a
weighing
stuffed
in on?
animal if
Is
I
that how
guess
you
my
gotta
weight.
try?
If you don't lose 2 pounds a week, you're out of the challenge.
Oh shit! So
Which
it's like a survivor one,
I guess when I saw that, I was like, "Holy crap!" Because I'm sure there could be a time where I lose like 8 pounds in 3 weeks, and then times where I don't.
and then don't lose any.
Right. Um, but if you beat the guy
That's
running it,
crazy.
he'll give you $500, and then there's also a payout for people that lose the highest percentage. Which
Oh,
I'm assuming I'm
shit.
kind of at a disadvantage because I think I'll be like 225 at the weigh in. So even if I lose 50 pounds, it's only 20%. Doesn't seem like a lot.
Well, I think you just got to go to like like Golden Corral before you go. Like that. just fucking just
What?
fill up.
I just crammed 2 pieces of pizza in my mouth this morning. I think the weigh in is Monday, so I'm gonna eat like crap all weekend.
Does he? Yeah, I might as well if it's going through July, man. You're gonna have to get through a bunch of holidays without freaking
Well,
eating.
yeah,
Do you guys have a plan? Do you guys have a plan? You guys have a plan on like what you're gonna do to like lose weight or like just change up like meals
I
or what?
I think Taylor has a plan. My plan
That sounds
at
about
the
right.
moment is hopefully work out and intermittent fast. A lot of times, if I just think
Makes
about
sense.
it, I can lose some weight. Like it's not like I can lose a little
Yeah.
bit of weight. It's losing a lot of bit of weight that's the problem.
So so my thing that I noticed so when I track my food, I do much better. So like I use this chronometer app and it's set up for keto for me, but you can set it up for I think any form of weight loss or whatever. So it gives me little bars or whatever, and it gives you like a kind of like caloric like
Mhm.
goal or whatever. And so like if I know like for me since I'm doing like keto, I do like 6 sausage links for breakfast. It's like basically my like standard go to breakfast. So like the night before I'll just already like plug it in and then like I'll plug in like my coffee, which is black coffee. Um and like just kind of get my stuff. So I'm like already like ready to roll and I'm like, okay, cool, it's already in and I already see I kind of already lost some calories I can use for the day. And then I try to intermittent fast for the rest of it until dinner. And so far so good. But it's like seeing it because I think like if you tracked yourself like on a just like a normal day where you weren't thinking about what you were eating, I bet you like your caloric intake's like way higher than you expect.
Oh, absolutely. I noticed that when
I did it one time where I tracked myself like post the day, and I'm sure I might have missed some stuff, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, that's why."
you're on like a swimmer's diet.
I'm running Michael Phelps diet and without the swimming
Yeah.
part.
I think I've had the most success like intermittent fasting. Like I've probably lost the most weight doing that. But the problem with that
Yeah,
sometimes is I'll be like, all right, it's noon. I'm in my window. I can eat. And then I'll eat like 1,500 calories like for lunch.
and then you're like, okay, if you do that again for like in your window for dinner, like you're like that's still a lot of calories, I guess technically.
But I know if I stop
But you
eating
probably,
at like by 8 o'clock, I usually do pretty well. I'm not
yeah,
snacking.
that makes sense. But you probably are more active than most people with coaching and firefighting and the stuff you do at your normal everyday job. I'm sure you're more active than most.
You'd like to think so.
You
But I mean,
know what I mean? Like,
coaching, there's a lot of standing around instructing. I mean,
yeah,
some of the stuff's
yeah,
obviously
that's true.
visual, but firefighting is just by chance. If somebody's house starts burning down or somebody's sick.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Uh,
Yeah, it's wild, man. Though, and also the hard part of probably what keeps you from like doing like a regular thing too, because you're like it's so irregular of like when this might go and this might go and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I can only imagine.
yeah, and being on straight
That's
days now compared to swing shift to be a lot easier for things.
that's good too, right?
Yeah,
That helps with the coaching too, right? Because then you kind of know you're off for. Because I know with your swing shifts, when we started this, you were on swing shift, right?
Yeah, because we could do a lot of morning recordings, like on Mondays and Tuesdays
Yeah, I
when you were
remember.
off.
Yeah, I remember. And then now I'm off on Thursdays, Fridays, which is cool. So that's the solid part of, you know, having a solid schedule, even when it's not like the greatest days off or whatever. But I mean, it works for what we have. I can pick up the little dude from school and stuff like that, and I have no problem and stuff. Like that's really like the getting. It's a routine without being it like the best routine, even though
Right.
it is still routine. But
Is he in
it is what it
kindergarten?
is. He's in kindergarten, yeah.
So is Claire.
It's crazy, dude.
I know.
They're growing up so fast. They're nuts. Man, yeah, it's crazy. So because Claire's your oldest, right?
Yeah, she's 6.
So you got kindergarten, and then the next one goes to kindergarten not next year, but the year after.
No, Addie is 2. She'll be 3 and
Oh, so
start.
she's still got a little ways.
She'll start the first year of preschool this coming fall.
Gotcha.
So
Oh, damn.
yeah, and Piper turns 2 in a couple weeks, but she'll be a grade level
Yeah.
behind just because of birthdays.
So when Piper goes to kindergarten, you'll have a kindergartner, first grader, and what, like a fourth grader?
I think it's 5th grade. I think I'll have 1 year where all 3
Fifth
of them are
grade.
in the same school.
Oh, damn, that's cool.
Yeah, that'll be nice and convenient.
That'd be kind
It'll
of
be very nice having them all in school. It's nice having them at the babysitter. Like the 2 littles go to the
yeah.
babysitter, and our babysitter's freaking awesome. Uh,
That's awesome.
But it'll be nicer having them in kindergarten and first grade because I would assume that's cheaper. I know there's like book
Probably
stuff, or iPad rental, but
I would assume. I mean, like that's the thing about schools nowadays. Schools like are nuts. So I think like for Rhino, I think we pay like $60 twice a year, I think, or something like that. But he goes to like a charter sort of school, so
that's not bad.
So 120 bucks isn't bad. But I know like when we had him in pre-K last year, there it was like $250 a month or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think for
So
daycare is like $250 a week for the kids, but it's worth it.
yeah, dude. Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, whenever you have like, that's the thing about like, so we just got off break, so they just went back to school yesterday for the first time. Dude, like it was nice not having to like get them to like school and then like get back for like in time to do like the podcast stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like having them around was like, oh my god, like now I gotta like get your stuff, get you guys settled afterwards so I can start like editing and all that kind of stuff. So it was like it was wild. So it's different, I guess, different ups and downs depending. Like right now, like they're at school, so I got to be like, oh, like I got to remember, like, oh, right around like 3, I got to like head over to the school to pick them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's not too bad. I can't complain. Um, yeah. So other than parenting, coaching, work, which my work is pretty much the same, other than podcast stuff has changed a little bit. Had some fun add additions. I'm doing helping Brant out again. Friend of the show, Brant Tobler, hilarious comedian. We're doing some YouTube stuff. Friend of the show, Carter Holsey. We're doing some YouTube shorts and stuff like that. So, and then obviously still doing Athletes Unplugged. We're on a hiatus for that right now, but like we're going to kick back into doing some episodes here. So, and getting all that stuff straight. So, staying busy with all that kind of stuff, but maybe adding one here shortly too, hopefully.
Really?
That I don't have too much information on, but potential.
Is it another
horizon.
Podcast?
It is another podcast, yes.
Are you allowed to talk about it on air, or do you need to wait until we're done?
No, I'll have to wait till we're done. But it is in the sports genre. So.
Is it the same sport you've been doing?
No.
So it's not a cult.
No. No, so it's not any Colts. No.
Speaking of Colts, are you still doing socks?
Yeah.
With Pierre?
I haven't done anything for them in a while, but the plan is, I think, to probably like put together a bunch of stuff and send it over to them. It's so it's so interesting with that one because it's just like I don't know. It's like it's a small company, so it's like hit or miss, but it's like so much to do every day. But then like I just got a bunch of socks, but then like everything kind of happened, like fell in my lap all funky.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did some like photos of actual socks here, so I had like different images to use. So I have like stuff that's kind of like ready to roll. I just have to like put the finishing touches on them. So once I do those, I'll shoot them over to them. And but that's a different sort of arrangement. Sort of it's uh, but it's fun. Like it's for Pierre Garcon's sock line. Actually, I have this thing right here, so I can show you guys. So, Speed Aid compression. If you guys haven't checked out that, so they're cool compression socks. I think they're getting into compression everything. So
Oh, nice.
I think that's what's kind of the funky part of it right now. So,
That
but yeah,
compression
I'm excited.
everything is
You know, yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, like, I mean, if you think about it, the line of if you're doing compression socks already, I mean, compression shorts, compression pants, compression sleeves, compression, it should be too hard.
well, and of all the
So
compression items, I feel like socks are the least. I don't want to say
sexy.
mainstream, but like least common of a compression item that you're gonna buy. You're gonna buy compression shorts, leggings, sleeves.
Well, actually,
Probably
that
some other
that is
clothes.
false.
Really?
Compression socks are actually the higher selling, I believe.
And that's why.
But you got to remember, like, they're not super talked about, like, because it's a lot of old people. Um, like people post surgery, like as far as them in the athletic field, like they're kind of a newer sort of thing for like high level athletes that use compression as far as socks wise.
Huh.
So
Yeah, that's news to
yeah,
me. I learned something new. I'm glad we're back.
kind of how it's kind of how it goes.
So
Speaking of that, I was excited. I wanted to show you. I was excited that my brother got me like one of the coolest gifts for Christmas. I didn't even I wouldn't have expected it. It's pretty cool, but you'll get a kick out of it.
did he draw it?
So no, shockingly. So he knew I was like trying to get some stuff for my like office area to like kind of like make it look like cool and kind of make it like a whole cool workstation. Um, so he bought me um, cards from the guys that I work with. So like they're all rookie cards. So this is Antoine rookie card.
Nice.
It's limited to like $6.99. Then I got like this DeQuell one, which is limited to like $2.99 on the back, and then he got me this autographed DeQuell one, which is limited to like $5.99. And then he got me this cool D-Butt one, which is limited to like $7.99. And then he got me this like super. This is the only one that's not numbered, but it's super rare. It's like D-Butt X Fractor.
Ooh, have you showed those guys those
So
cards?
yes, yeah, I sent them to them on Christmas, and they were all like, "Oh, that's dope. That's cool." Like, so it was kind of cool, like to get these, like, because they're guys that like obviously I know and stuff. And when I see AB, I'm gonna try to get him to autograph my rookie one.
There you go.
He said he would.
I had came across somebody selling a AB jersey on Facebook not that long ago, and then
for real?
yeah, but you know how like Facebook will randomly update while you're scrolling through there, and then you can't find a post.
Dude, it's the worst, man. It's the worst.
That happened.
I hate that. Like, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, and it's not
Happens way too often.
everything needs to be in chronological order on there, and it's not. I don't you can't
Dude,
like there should be an option. It's just stupid. It bothers me. I miss 2009 Facebook.
2000, yeah. I miss a lot of 2009 things.
Yeah.
Like when they try to fix things, but they kind of like make it worse, or they add like one good feature, but they like change three things that you like don't want changed. You're like, what the fuck? Like you're like, why? Like, just give me the things that are like work.
I'll go
like,
for months without updating apps or anything, and then like my phone will just do it. Like, why is Facebook
and then you'll be like, this is a whole new app.
Yes.
Yeah, a whole fucking new app. Yeah, no, that's the sucky part. So when you get these apps, right, like you update them, like it works. So I have like this editing software that I use, and like the last update for it, like it took me like a week to figure out where all the buttons moved to, because it was a pretty big update, and I was like, what the fuck? Why the fuck would you do this? Like, I'm so used to all the buttons being in one goddamn place. Leave them there. Like, add stuff, cool, but don't move the stuff that's like like the I hit how many times do I hit the play button or the clip button or the whatever. Like those are buttons that like everyone uses on a regular. Why would you move those? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I guess I'm not an app designer, but I don't understand that. But that's also me getting
Yeah.
older.
I mean, there's definitely things I would like to do with that app. There are things like with that specific app that I'm like, I would love it if you added X, Y, and Z, but you don't have to move any of the buttons to freaking make that happen.
Right.
Like, that's stupid.
So you're
Like,
drinking
who's asking for these damn changes?
you're drinking coffee, and I have this Rain energy drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Uh, somebody had some rep dropped off a few flats of them at the fire station, just set it outside of our door,
Yeah.
and we found them there, and so
Oh,
we brought
cool.
them inside. It's actually pretty good, and I normally just like original flavors like Red Bull, stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is rainbow sherbet. Tastes exactly like it.
Yeah.
0 sugar, 10
Nice.
calories,
I've
300
had the rain
milligrams.
before. 300 milligrams? Damn.
Yeah, it's an
That's
offshoot of
a lot.
Monster. I think it's maybe Healthy Monster, although
Yeah.
there's 200 milligrams of sodium.
Is it made by Monster?
The guy that gave us the card gave us a Monster card. I'm trying to see if I can find a Monster logo on
I,
here.
wa- I wonder if they if they share like a rep, because that could be,
It says, yeah, it
because I know
says
like here we
manufactured for Rain Beverage Company.
huh. I wonder because like I've seen them on the market and they do kind of like there's an orange dreamsicle one. That's
That
pretty
one's
cool.
fantastic. We got a bunch of different flavors.
Our Monster and Rain the same company. Um, oh, so Rain Total Body Fuel is an American energy drink that was introduced in 2019 by the Monster Beverage Corporation. It is available in 16 flavors.
There
So
you go.
it is made by Monster Beverage. So that's dope. That's dope. I like monsters. I like the 0 sugar monsters,
I
but
used to strictly drink white monsters, and then I
no.
stopped drinking energy drinks, and then kind of like slowly been back to it. Not even slowly. I've just been back full nuts into it.
Makes sense. I have 2 cups of coffee actually. I have like my regular cup of coffee, and then I have this thing, which is like an americano,
Yeah.
because I got a Bialetti espresso like thing
Yeah.
for Christmas, and so we made some espresso shots this morning, and then I poured it in, and then I used an electric kettle to like heat up water and kind of water it down,
Yep.
make an americano. So
Nice. You like that espresso machine?
I do, yeah. So it's not like it's not. They're not even expensive. I mean, I guess they're like $50 or whatever. My wife got like the biggest one
Hmm.
because she was like, I don't know anything about coffee, and I was like, cool. Usually people get the smaller ones that make like for like one person, but this makes like 12 cups. So you pack it full of like espresso coffee,
Mm-hmm.
put the water in the bottom, put it on the kettle. I got this little like it almost looks like a little pizza flipper thing
Yeah.
that you stick it on so it doesn't burn the bottom, and then you can stick it on there and it starts to brew up percolate through the top, but it's like super strong. And then a lot of times before, like on Christmas Day, like we put like scoops of sugar into like this little bowl, and then we poured like the beginning parts in, and we made like this little like paste almost,
Mm-hmm.
and then you pour the stuff into it, and then it makes it a little sweet. But I've been doing mine with just stevia, so
Do the
yeah.
girls drink it in the morning before school?
They drink coffee. They drink regular coffee. I tried to get my middle daughter to try the espresso stuff, and I had to like put like French vanilla creamer in and stuff like that, and she still wasn't down on it, too strong for her. I think my oldest daughter, who just got back um, from being gone for Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
she'll like she hasn't tried it yet, but I'm sure I'll probably make some for her tonight.
How's basketball?
She's got it's been good. It's been good. My middle daughter is on the 2026 watch list um, for Colorado, which is cool.
Yeah.
Um, she's been max prep player of the game like 3 times, I think. So she's been doing really good. She's averaging like so she got hurt in game three, in like the second quarter. Girl pushed her from behind. She kind of landed funky on her leg, and then we thought it potentially could have been real bad. We thought maybe an ACL tear, but turned out it was just like a real bad bone bruise. And so she ended up not missing any games, but she sat out like basically that whole game because it was like early in the second quarter. So she technically played the game, so it brings her average down. But if you take that game out, she's like averaging like 16 points a game, like 4 boards and five assists or something like that, or 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Or so.
Wow. Is that varsity JV?
Yeah, so she's playing. So she's on JV because there's two girls that play like her positions that are older ahead of her, but she swings up and plays with the varsity. So she plays usually like 3 quarters for JV, and then they bring her up and she's seen some playing time. But coach is coach is a good guy, but like he's got like his I think he's it's there's a decent amount of seniors, so I think he's got some of them in, and I think the plan is to kind of go forward with my daughter and a couple of these other younger girls that are gonna in the around the varsity to like kind of build the team next year. So I wouldn't say it's a lost season per se because like she's still playing, but it's just like it's kind of like funky because it's like the girls are we've seen a lot of these girls play for a long time because my daughter was in the program last year, my other daughter,
Right.
and she's in the program this year too. But um, and then before that, this girl Hannah, who like I did her mom watched our son, and I did like her college like clips package and stuff like that. And we're pretty tight. So she was in it for the 4 years before that. So we've been around the program for a while. So we've seen a lot of these girls grow, and it's just like they're good kids, but like yeah, you've been around my daughter. You watched her play last year in 8th grade. Like she's just wants it in a different way. Like so it's like weird because like it's like you watch them play on the court and they're like I'm like you're just doing this to do this. Like she's doing this to like she wants to make this her career. Like
Yeah,
it's
she's like
so it's like
give me the damn ball. I remember just running down the court with her hand up. Throw it to me.
dude, yeah, so it's a little different, and she's upped her game so much since then too. It's like so she's a great passer. She steals the ball great. In there rebounding. Like she's almost like a little Sabrina Ionescu sort of like she's gonna put up her points. She doesn't have to be the highest scorer, but like she's gonna be in the top 3 scorers almost always, and then she's gonna assist on a bunch of other shots, and then she's going to go in there and fight for rebounds, even though she's one of the smaller positions on the court. She's going to go get them. So it's been fun to watch, but it's also been like a little frustrating because you're like you can see it in her eyes. She's like, I should be on the varsity,
Right.
like now, like full time, like playing, like so. And she feels like she can contribute, I think, to the team right now, which I agree with her. So it's a tough situation for her, but I think it's ultimately going to make her better because I think she realizes for the first time like with some adversity that she's like it really is like kind of the thing she wants to do, and like okay, you don't think I'm ready or whatever, okay, I'm gonna prove you that you're making a mistake. Like, so it's kind of like a little bit more of a fire. So
that's good. When does the tournament start? Like I think girls starts in February for us.
I think it's the end of February. I think end of February through early part of March. I think could be wrong,
Nice.
but
Well, when she's leading the team to the state finals in a few years, we'll come out and support her.
yeah, exactly. Well, so it's interesting too because obviously you coach, so like it's obviously probably slightly different. Uh, did something? Did I? Am I? Can you still hear me
Yeah.
and see me?
Yep. I
Okay.
had stepped off screen for a second and grabbed my drink.
No, my computer just said USB wasn't connected, but I'm like, I can still hear myself through the mic
Oh.
and I can still see myself. So
Yeah.
I'm like, that don't make no sense. Um, but yeah. So I mean, you being a coach, I mean, it's got to be different, a little bit different, but I assume you kind of have to deal with that sort of kind of stuff too. Is like playing, certain people while also like fielding the best team, while also like judging like this person works harder. It's like it's a tough job. It's not an easy job to coach. So I try not to be overly like annoyed with it, but it's tough because there are times where in the game where I'm like, we are losing this game that we wouldn't be losing.
Yeah. Well, and like with tennis is pretty cut and dry. Like you play each other for your
Yeah.
positions. There's a
Yeah.
little bit between whether you want somebody to play singles or doubles.
Yeah.
But it's not as subjective as like, oh, I think she's better or he's better than him in like basketball. And like baseball is subjective too.
Yeah.
Like pitching wise, like that's what. So I moved up now to I'm like the main assistant now with the varsity. Like the other guy had resigned. He
Yeah.
didn't have enough time for it. So now I'm the pitching coach and I think I'll help out with outfield. But like figuring out like a rotation, that's all subjective. Like
Yeah.
unless you have one guy throwing like 90 and just blowing everybody
Yeah.
away. But like our guys, we got a couple guys that are pretty close and then a couple guys that are pretty close, and so it is tough. And obviously I have input on decisions, but as the assistant coach, doesn't fall on me as much.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, but that's still got to be tough though. Yeah. Especially like the subjectiveness of it sometimes is probably one of those things where you're just like, okay, like it's tough because you're like, I want, like, because even like what you want, like if we were both on staff, like, granted we're both lefties, but whatever, it's like I might say, well, shit, this guy's got probably the third best fastball, but he's got like the best curveball, he's got the best changeup, like, but you might just be like, this guy over here throws 95, and you're like, so it's it's so subjective and like, but both of them could be equally as good, or the guy who throws a little slower could also be better because he has more to offer as far as other pitches and
Well, last
all that kind
year,
of stuff.
one of our most consistent pitchers probably didn't throw 70, but he was getting people out.
Yeah.
We had guys, we didn't have any like flamethrowers. We had some guys that were probably in the low 80s, but yeah, he came in against one of the best teams in like the smallest class. Like it was one of our Saturday games on conference. Their kid's throwing like 92. He's committed to Kentucky since he was a freshman. And we're throwing E, who throws about 70 maybe, but he's got a good curveball and throws strikes. I was like, let's throw him like all the time. Like I really enjoy that kind of pitcher. Like if you can throw me strikes, and locate everything, we're in good shape. But and
that's honestly where.
Game. And then you bring in somebody that's throwing 80 right behind him, and it looks like he's throwing 100.
Yeah, but yeah, he sets up the guy who's throwing hard to throw even harder. Essentially, like, I mean, yeah, it's a good combo, which is the crazy part too, because I feel like now, and I think you've probably been alive to watch some of this evolution of it in like the pros, is like you have these guys who now it's just who throws 100 and like who throws, like, this guy throws 98. Like you don't have a ton of Greg Maddux type dudes, like,
no, like Kyle Hendricks like that, but he might not even make the Cubs rotation this year.
Yeah, he's a dying breed at this point.
As a kid, when you're a little bit older, so you had like Nolan Ryan. I don't remember watching Nolan Ryan pitch, but I remember seeing like Randy Johnson throw. He would touch 100 sometimes. Billy Wagner would touch 100,
yeah,
but that was like it.
yeah. Well, that was the thing. So a lot of the guys who like Randy Johnson was a little bit of an anomaly, but a lot of the guys that came in and threw like absolute like gas were like when you had like your closers and stuff, or like those kind of guys, or you had like a Mariano Rivera type where he kind of came in and like he had a specific thing he did. But like
He's like, I'm gonna throw
now
a
it's like it
cutter,
feels like
you hit it.
yeah, yeah, have fun. Like try to you basically know what I'm gonna throw, but you're still not gonna hit it. It's crazy. Like and then like now it's like it feels like it's like gas and then like just gas. It's
Mm-hmm.
like okay. It's like where's the art of it, you know?
Right. And
It's
like our guys last year, we actually did pretty well against that kid that was committed to Kentucky because we'll bust the cage up to 90, and when he was
yeah,
throwing fastballs, they were hitting it. He had a disgusting curveball though, so if he was working in that curveball, they were
yeah.
screwed. But throwing straight fastballs is not hard. Like I'm probably not going to be able to hit it, but
Yeah.
kids that are hitting in the cage every day are going to be able to catch up to 85, even 90, the better players.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Fastball is great, but like it's not everything unless you got like a disgustingly moving fastball.
Yeah.
Where
I mean, yeah. You have to have something that complements the fastball.
did I don't remember if I told you this. Our freshman first baseman, now he's a sophomore, verbally committed to Virginia
Yeah.
Tech after last year.
Oh, you were telling me about
It's like
this.
a
Yeah,
top
yeah,
10 school
yeah.
in the country. In the
That's awesome.
in the fall, we had some workouts and we would do like live BP off the machine.
Yeah.
And he makes like this disgusting play at first base, dives, gets a kid out. First one up, I was like, he's gonna hit a home run. He walks up there with a wooden bat and launches it over our scoreboard. I was like, all right, Mason.
Nice. Yeah, like this kid's a stud. Got
I just turned around and looked at Mark, the head coach, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing though. Is like baseball's baseball's kind of one of those odd ones because you don't have to be like a certain stature or a certain size to necessarily do crazy shit, but like it does help in certain situations. But then like watching some of these basketball games, I'm like we played this team here and like they're like they had like three girls that were over 6'3", and it was like
Wow.
cool. Like you're playing against girls that are like 5'6", 5'7". A lot of them. I think our tallest girl is 6'1", maybe, and like she's not necessarily our best player, but she's our tallest. But
Right.
it's like, man, I'm like, you should be, and we played them competitively. But the thing is like, you're already given an advantage and a leg up in it when you have that height. Same thing with football if you have the right size, but baseball's kind of like great equalizer. Like you can have like smaller dudes and still like compete
Yeah,
against giants.
absolutely. Jose Altuve is like one of the best hitters in the major leagues, and he's like 5'6", 5'7".
He's also a cheater, but I mean,
Yeah, it's irrelevant. I mean, that's relevant, but he's still really good for being little.
that's true. I mean, like Tim Anderson's the same way, right?
I think he's like 6'1". He was a
Like
basketball player.
Is he?
Yeah,
He looks small though.
he's just an athlete.
He looks
I just sent you
he looks kind of yeah.
texted you a clip of a video of Mason hitting in some sort of showcase or something.
Oh, sweet! I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah,
That's
it's
dope.
it's you'll watch.
He's a lefty.
Yeah.
He's a lefty.
Yep.
Like it. Always like when we add good lefties to the crew. Did you see the video circulating recently of LeBron James signing a jersey and he's signing it left-handed, and everyone's like, he actually is left-handed.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he was like signing his jersey for somebody on this. It was some famous person. He takes his jersey off and he signs it and he puts it and he writes left-handed or whatever. And people are like, he's actually left-handed, but he shoots right-handed. Like, so LeBron, welcome to the club.
Nice.
Officially.
You're welcome to come on the podcast, LeBron.
All day, every day. Mike Vick. we got a bunch of lefties.
Speaking of people that we've had on the podcast, the Savannah Bananas are doing like a worldwide or nationwide tour now, and
I did
Tyler is him and like Eric Burns are co-head coaches.
Yeah, I saw that. I was actually going to reach out to him because I saw he was doing these bet on yourself shirts, and I want to get one for AB because that's AB's like the name of his book was Bet on Yourself.
Oh, really?
And that's like his phrase, like his big phrase. So, and I saw like the cool part was I think they were doing like they were selling the shirts, and the proceeds were going to go to like buying gloves for like kids and stuff like that. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, it had a good cause. I had a good cause wrap behind it. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter while we're talking. But yeah, so pretty pumped up on that. Pretty excited. And also, speaking of that, excited to do some more guests. That's gonna be real cool.
Yeah, and get back in the
like
blasting DM and see if we can get some people on here.
I mean, I will tell people all the time, like it's kind of funny, like the range of guests we've had on the show.
Yeah,
is absolutely absurd. Like so we just said this is our 40th episode, so 39 episodes. We've had a Super Bowl champion.
Yes.
We've had the head coach of one of the biggest minor league teams. I guess they're not technically a minor league team. I guess
they were a college summer ball team, but I don't even know what to call them anymore.
Yeah. So, and then we've had a guy that won the World Series of Poker. We've had some viral sensations.
We had Ryan E. Miller, who finished, I think, third in America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent. We had MTV VJ. A couple musicians, like a couple comedians.
Yeah.
We had actually, hold on. We had somebody who's involved with, let's see, one of I can tell you right now. The number 11 podcast in the world right now. We had him on the show. So you're looking at me like,
do I need to guess on who that? How am I not figuring that out? What's the podcast about?
Todd.
Oh, is Todd
McComas.
Crime or is that the one that he's got right now?
The Undetermined podcast.
That Todd was going to be my guest, but I didn't realize it was doing that well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was the number 1 podcast in the world for a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Todd was on the show. So I mean, yeah, we've had some dope ones. I'm gonna try to get Antoine, DeQuell.
We do have episode 41 coming up.
Episode 41. Might try to get number 41 on the pod for a little bit. You know, maybe that's a thing. So we got some cool situations that might work out.
And maybe whatever
I'm excited.
Podcast is going to be, we can whoever that.
Yeah, maybe whatever my new podcast. Definitely probably have Carter back on at some point because he's got some cool stuff going on. Brant. I don't think Brant ever has officially been a guest on the Off the Rails podcast.
He was on Ellis for Lions.
He was on
his first episode.
Ellis for Lions, and then yeah. So we definitely have to have Brant on because Brant's awesome. So yeah, cool guest and cool things to talk about. But I'm excited for this next iteration of us doing Off the Rails. I'm excited to get back to weekly talks with my dude Jems, and excited to kind of like see where we can take this. Definitely follow us on YouTube, Off the Rails with Tone and Jems. Our social links, which we haven't been super active with, are Off the Rails _pod, and then I am at the Tone Gordon on Twitter, which is where you find me most. Jems, you are at OTR Jems.
Yep.
On Twitter.
Yep.
And then you're also more active on IG. But I think you're like Jemins something.
I make probably I guess more active, yes, but that's like me making like 2 or 3 posts a year on Instagram.
Yeah, that's a good point. Fair enough. So definitely follow the podcast because I'm gonna definitely be hitting the clips hard for these to make them get out there because I think we've put out a ton of dope content, which is cool. I'm going to get to go back through a bunch of our interviews, and I'm going to pull out some cool clips, like some throwback clips and stuff too. So, um, go follow us on all that. Go follow us on our YouTube, and then maybe eventually we'll even do some live shows, which would be kind of cool. Take some questions and stuff, and bring on some people or whatever. So
Yeah,
just
live
have some fun with it. So
live would be really cool. I would enjoy that.
yeah, so the plan is to do awesome stuff with the pod. So we are excited to be back. I know we talk about it all the time in our texts. So me and Jems are very invested in this, as far as like doing it on the regular. And I think now that we've kind of both gotten more stable schedules, even though they are busy schedules, we will be able to make this work
Yeah, so we're gonna commit
as
to
a
not
regular.
taking a hiatus. Like maybe season 3 will
Yeah,
be the final season, but that's because it never ends.
it never ends, never ending season. So yeah, so the goal is to kick season 4 next January after we've done 51 odd episodes
Yeah.
this year.
Yep. Look for some
So,
cool things this year.
so look,
We also always have like we'll always bounce business ideas, and sometime one of these are going to take off, and we'll actually follow through with one of them. And like we might be
yeah,
wearing the same hat, but it might be branded with our stuff.
yeah, who knows? We're excited. We're excited about doing a bunch of fun stuff. And if you have any suggestions for who you guys would want to see on the show, and you're listening to this, go to our Twitter. Yeah, go to our Twitter
Yeah.
and tweet it at us.
Yep.
And tweet and tag them, because that helps when we reach out, and we can be like, hey, like people have asked for you guys to come on the podcast. So
Definitely.
help us help you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, well, James, I think that's a great first episode, and then we'll be back next week with episode 41, with hopefully maybe number 41. So,
Sounds good to me.
you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Sounds good. Awesome. Yeah. So, well, Jems, I appreciate you hopping on, and I look forward to doing this weekly every week.
Yep, for sure.
Making it happen.
I will see you sometime. That might be
All right, Jems.
Indy.
All righty. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Well, we'll make it work. We'll make something work. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week. Go subscribe, rate, review, download, tell all your friends, and all the fun stuff. And we'll see you guys next week.
Welcome